And we're back on. Okay. So, anyways,
I want to tell you something that is happening in our county, and it's happened for a long time, but I just learned about it from Deputy Fred Swain, who is also a delegate. And
hold on.
Amazing person.
Hold on. I had an itch. Go on.
So, there is a young lady, Mallory Heinberger.
Mm-hmm.
She is doing shieldmaidentactical. I am give you her information. Shieldmaidentactical. Now, why Fred suggested her to me?
Can I hold on to that for a second?
I'm going to read it for a second.
Okay.
She's doing a class on September 17th and 18th, and there's still a couple openings. But this is what it is, and this is a class I'm taking. And it's a firearm safety rules, safe handling. Here was my issue. I have little kids. They're not little anymore, so I'm not worried so much about having a gun in my purse or carrying in my purse. I want to carry it on my person, and it's got to be concealable. And here I am worried, because I'm wearing dresses, how do I conceal it? Well, this young lady is just phenomenal with a firearm. She's phenomenal at training. She's got her class of 17 and 18. You learn firearm safety and handling, how to conceal your weapon, and for women like myself, the best way to conceal without it being obvious. What kind of gun will work for me? I do have a mini Glock, but the thing is, I don't love it. And I've been looking for another gun, and I've been over to get some, and they know me because Tuesday night's ladies' night, and I can go shoot all their pistols, but I haven't found that one.
Take my wife with
that
you,
feels. I totally would. We'd have a ball. But it's like $1 to shoot. At least it used to be. I don't know. After COVID, I didn't go. But I was trying to find.
If you're shopping for a gun, just buy the ammo. Well, they're pretty good. I have spent many ounces. Tons of lead at their range.
But listen, this one isn't just designed for women. This is for men too. But for me, I'm a beginner when it comes to this tactical style training. This isn't, I'm going to get my permit, my concealed handlers. This is 20 hours. It's a course set up. This course is set up like a police academy for civilians. Mm-hmm. Where you learn shoot, don't shoot. You learn quick pull action. You learn what to say if people mess with you and how to handle that. So you're not, you try to de-escalate a situation so that you are not having to use your gun. Decision making, when to go on for defense, what to say to police if you've been in a shooting, dry fire at home and training at home, and so that you're actually training within your household. So in an emergency situation, it's not like you're grab your weapon, you're in your bed, you may be just waking up. Get to your safe, get to your gun as quick as possible. What is in your sight line? If you do have to shoot a perp, is your child at risk because the bedroom is right behind them? These things are all things that some of us, and I don't even want to bring up the fact that I'm a woman, but as a woman, I constantly worried about these little things that kept me from getting more training in a concealed situation. In this class, you shoot about 200 rounds. I'm bringing 300. You get to shoot every kind of handgun. And then you leave with an understanding of your own personal skill level. It gives you the confidence you need to know your gun, your weapon, how to be safe, all of that. And there's still about 6 openings, maybe 4, because I think I grabbed 2 more. So it's not too late to sign up, and it's next week. Now, Saturday's 9 to 9. It's a 12-hour day. Sunday is 9 to 5. The class is $200. But let me tell you also, this class gives you a certificate showing that you've had 20 hours worth of training. This isn't a concealed weapons permit class. $200 is about a third of what other courses cost like this in the state.
That's cheap.
It's ridiculous. And mostly, for 20 hours. And then
I'm messaging her right now. We might try to bring her on.
Here's the thing I was going to say. I want you to bring her on because this woman is extraordinary. But let me tell you, she's trained and has been supporting instructor for 14 years for a gentleman named John Farnman. And he's a Marine, 40 years law enforcement officer, 40 years international gun trainer. He's her dear friend and mentor. And with his permission, she teaches his 2-day defensive handgun curriculum. And his class costs $750. And the rest of the instructors have also attended John Farman's classes and are certified by him as instructors. And when he comes to Utah, she's able to assist him in teaching his courses. In 2 years, he's had 5 of his handgun courses here. Now, if by chance you can't make it to the class in September, but this interests you, West Brandon is also another instructor. In fact, him and Mallory take turns, and he's going to be the lead instructor in a class in November on the 11th and 12th with that same course type training. Why I love this is because, you should be carrying in a grocery store. You should be carrying, I hate to say this, but women, we should be taught at a young age. And this class, actually, she goes through showing you men and women alike, not just women. But why I chose her class is because there was a little bit that Fred had mentioned that, things my daddy taught me in law enforcement. What kind, when you're in a parking lot, you need to be astute. You need to know what's around you at all times. What's on your vehicle? Check the front, check the back before you get in. Don't dilly-dally, and don't be on your phone when you're walking through a dark parking lot. If anything, have 911 on the ready. Have your flashlight all the time. These things that we should know. But there's other things, that we as women should pay attention to. When we're walking in a store, are we seeing the same guy constantly? Are we being followed? There's so many situations that could happen.
Let me sidebar real quick.
No, you're interrupting, which is different than sidebarring.
And this is important. If you're a female that has this mindset, you won't be followed. You won't be a target.
Well, that's the thing.
Because they'll see that you are paying attention. They'll see that you're walking, you're walking with purpose. You're confident, paying attention to reflections. They'll notice that you notice their dog shittery.
Oh, I'm the type of person that'll walk right up to them and go, "Are you following me?"
And that's good. You won't be. This is how you avoid being a victim.
And the one most important thing that I wanted from this class was confidence in my weapon. Confidence that I'm caring for it properly, that I know how to clean it, that I know how to protect it and protect my kids, that I know how to load it quickly, and that I can seal it easily. That is the number one thing, was confidence. And Mallory has not only been, she's been on the phone with me for an hour already today, but she's answered 1 million texts. She's a wonderful person, and I'm excited to take this class. And I've got the information here. So if anyone is interested in gaining, more confidence in your conceal option, and like for me, I'm bringing my Glock, but it's not my favorite, and she knows it. So there's going to be a number of handguns that I'm going to get an option to try. And then even better than that is that West Brandon is a gun dealer. So if I find a gun that I really love, he can order one for me.
And you can try out multiple guns at that range, which is pretty cool.
Tons of guns.
And you know what? I think every 15-year-old girl and up should have this training. Stop wasting your time with phys ed and basketball and all these dumb, stupid things they put you through in school. Get gun training.
Can I point another thing out?
You're gonna.
I know. This transgender movement.
Oh dear. Okay.
Doesn't care about when you're firing guns in competition.
Well, I don't even mind that.
What does that have to do with anything?
I watched a video today of some poor girl that
you'll never get those 20 seconds of your life back.
In Maryland that trained her ass off and lost to a young lady who just recently became a lady.
But see,
and she trained for 3 years.
See, that's not the average.
She lost
though.
out on college. She lost out on.
There's nothing more equal than arms, because actually,
right.
Women's dexterity scores are usually higher than men.
This was a sprint, so she had to move from the 100-yard dash into the jumping over the fence thing.
Because I'm telling you right now, a man and a woman in their shooting. I mean, a trans person, I love them dearly. I do.
Shooting doesn't care about gender.
No.
Nope.
Best shot I ever known was a female. She owns a coffee shop here in town.
And fighter pilots too, believe it or not. Women are excellent
Dude,
fighter
I
pilots.
bet they are.
They are. And so
it's just aggressive.
I want you to share this if you would. And I already told her.
She's
I want her to bring also on John Farnman with her, because I already told her, I'm like, this show that I'm going on tonight, I cannot wait to tell them that I'm taking this course, because you'll have no bigger supporters. Her whole mission, like, my daughter's not ready to train. She's 10. She's learning. But, I grew up in a house.
She's ready to clean weapons.
Yeah. I grew up in a house where weapons were around all the time. My parents were in law enforcement. So I always knew that weapons are a tool, and they are designed to kill. And so you always know it's loaded. So that was how I grew up. But what I want is to put confidence in my daughter at 15, younger. I want confidence in her to know that this tool is going to give her power that she would not have otherwise.
It's an equalizer.
And Mallory's not only teaching women and men how to use their weapon. I mean, she's teaching you how to use a blade when you need one, and the type of blade. She's teaching you how to do nighttime defense versus daytime. I mean, all these things to be aware of and to watch out for. And I am just so impressed already that I'm already signed up and ready to go. And I hope if someone out there wants to learn more, you get in touch with her, because it will start next Saturday. And a 12-hour day sounds like a long time, and it might be hot, but you're going to leave that day with all these different tactics that you may never have even considered. And you could be a novice with your gun.
So her email is shieldmaidentactical@aol.com.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm sending her. She's going to come on the show right now.
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
What about my other news?
We'll just spend a minute chatting with her.
Let's do it. But I want you to do a show with her, because I think you guys
for sure
would hit it off. And her mentor. And
I mean, not that I know anything about guns. I want you guys to recognize this, that I am an IQ of 32 moron.
Hi, Fred. I was just talking about you.
You are not 32. Stop.
Okay, 33.
Look, Fred commented.
Most attacks on victims happen in parking lots and driveways.
Your driveway.
And that is correct. They find you when you're most vulnerable, when you're preoccupied, when there's a communal gathering place. But if your shit is on tight, they don't find you. If you're paying attention to your surroundings, if you know what you got going on, they don't find you.
I sat down with Fred at convention, and I was just asking his opinion on certain guns and how am I going to conceal it. You guys know how I dress, and he's like,
that's what I was asking earlier. Where do you hide your sidearm?
Zip it. He said you should talk to Mallory, because they've got handbags that are great for concealing. There's other options
what
women
about a
have.
fanny pack?
And no, never. Come on. How dare you? Anyway, I wouldn't even know Mallory. I wouldn't know that this was even out there if it wasn't for you, Fred. So thank you so much. You took so much time, by the way, trying to teach me. And get me into this. And I'm just really grateful for this. And I hope I will put my daughter through a course like this, and I'll put my son through a course like this. And I hope that my friends that are watching will consider joining me. I already have my BF who's going to be joining me, and I'm very excited about that. So, oh, by the way, I forgot to say hi, Mom. I was supposed to do that earlier.
You always say hi to Mom at first, right?
Oh, I love my mom. And if there's one viewer right now, it's going to be her.
There's 5.
Oh, well, we're going to make sure there's a lot more.
We usually get a couple of viewers late.
Tell me where else you post. You go to YouTube?
Okay, so you'll find us on YouTube, BitChute, Rumble, and then we're on podcatchers like Apple, Spotify, humana.
Now, just so everyone, Telegram? As long as everyone knows, though, our podcasts, we're not on YouTube. They trail right off. Now. I'm on. You only get 1 year of podcasting.
We got in trouble on YouTube.
Oh yeah, we just got banned or something like that.
We got banned on YouTube for a show we did a goddamn year ago.
Was it about COVID?
Yeah, we talked about.
And you couldn't get back
some vagina shit like that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. I can check it later.
Wow, that's too bad.
But we've been in trouble a couple times on YouTube. I did send the link to her. I would like her to come on and introduce herself, advertise herself. I do believe that
this is going to catch her off guard. I told her I would.
I talked to her. She knows.
Okay.
Yeah, we chatted
because I didn't know if she would be ready.
Everyone knows that I am a mass supporter of firearm safety, range safety, things like that. Not that I know about it, but I support it because I think
you
it's
were
important.
In the military, and you also were an MP, right? Police.
And
you don't know about it?
An IQ 43 moron. But
why aren't you arguing with him?
44 moron.
His math skills aren't great, but it ain't 45. But what's the point?
46.
We round up to 50, or we round down to 40.
50. Dude, you want to
numbers, statistics, whatever.
You want to give me 4 points? I'm all about it. But
okay, while we wait, can I tell you my other thing?
Yes, keep going.
Okay.
If she jumps on, she jumps on.
So you remember the sheriff when we were talking, and I asked him about asset forfeiture.
Yes.
In Twilla County, we actually haven't had this issue. So, that's why when he was like, well, I'm not really familiar because we haven't had this issue. So I dove in. Do you guys remember the case December 21st? A woman in Dallas flying to Chicago. She gets stopped by a drug dog at the airport, and they hit on her carry-on where she has $100,000 inside.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked her, why do you have this money? And she said, well, I'm a dancer, and I also just sold my house.
So we're talking a little brown chicken, brown cow action, huh?
They took the money, and they never charged her with a crime.
That's what asset forfeiture is.
Right.
What they do is they charge the currency or the material with the crime. They never charge the person with the crime.
Oh, no. Let me go on. So now we're going to fast forward. A combat veteran, a Marine, his name is Stephen Lara. He's on a trip driving from Texas to California to visit his daughter. Have you heard this case?
Yes, I have.
So he's pulled over in Nevada, and an HP officer says he was stopped for following too closely, while another one said he was stopped for driving too slowly, not following the speed limit. He was below the speed limit. Either way,
if I can ask, us supporters of law enforcement or veterans of law enforcement adjacent activities are commonly the hardest people on when we recognize law enforcement are doing. Yeah, and that's where I come from.
Nobody dislikes a bad cop.
Yeah,
more
an
than
authoritarian,
a good cop.
or we want the police officers to be a service to a community, not a burden on it.
And they deserve our utmost respect. And when they don't earn that, it's a scary thing. It's a scary thing. So anyway, either way, he's incredibly respectful. He's honest. and cooperative with the police. He tells them about his road trip to California, and they ask if he has a gun or cash in the car, and he says yes to the cash.
He's got $80,000.
They ask if they can search it, and he says, yeah, sure. They found nothing in the car of consequence except for a briefcase with a plastic bag in it holding $106,000. When officers asked him why he had so much money on him, he said he doesn't trust banks in this financial climate.
What, an ex-Marine
and
saying something like that?
A combat Marine, 2 tours, Afghanistan and Iraq.
Shocker.
And the Marines can't do Bitcoin because they're probably still working on their color coordination with the crayons.
The crayons are too delectable.
So
it's fine dining.
He lets them search his car. Don't do that.
Ever.
Not to mention this, but he has all the receipts with him in that briefcase of the withdrawals of the cash right down to the penny.
It doesn't matter because our president wrote a law.
Clear here. It is not illegal to carry large amounts of cash on you in this country, especially if you've done nothing nefarious to
that's
obtain
the issue.
Cash.
The problem is that it's not illegal. The problem is that a secondary law, a regulation was written that if this amount of cash is carried, that you can confiscate it. And then Biden wrote the freaking thing
for the war on drugs
that they don't even have to provide justification. You can confiscate it, and then they have to pay for a fellow lawyer. Funny, Biden is making work for his homies.
But this was 20 or 30 years ago on the war on drugs with Nancy Reagan.
This has been Biden.
But the difference is
Biden didn't write the bill. Biden said he wrote the bill.
Yeah,
but we know Biden's had a questionable.
But let me finish this one. So the officers who now have the option, this is where I get tough, because these officers always have the option to go, this all looks legit. And I was watching the video, and you might be able to find the video of their body cams where these officers could go, yeah, well, I see he's pulled all this money out of his bank account over this amount of time. It all looks legit. But to be safe, they call their superior in, who immediately questions the Marine again about the money, and he's so cooperative and forthright with his answers. This is all on body cam. And the superior decides to call in the drug dog at the scene. Now, here's a fun statistic, everyone. Anywhere from 67% to 100% of circulated cash will have drug residue on it, regardless of how you obtained it. And drugs are a cash-only business.
Not even that.
That's just how it is.
Without cash or drugs being there, how often do dogs alert? Because dogs are trained to perform to please their master.
Now get this. This is what they did. So the sergeant decides, we're going to do a check. He takes the bag of money. There was $106,000. It was in a baggie. I assume it was in a plastic gallon bag, because I don't know how to fit in a sandwich bag, but how they described it was a plastic Ziploc. He opens the Ziploc, then he throws the cash just under 40 yards from the vehicle. Then he tells the dog to search, and he hit on it.
Jesus.
Nevada HP then called DEA immediately, who came and confiscated Stephen's money. Stephen, he still remained calm while showing the DEA his receipts, and it didn't matter. The DEA agent gave him a receipt for the money seized, as well as a phone number to call if he had any questions. Just like that, $106,000 gone. And Stephen had no money on him, in his wallet, in his pockets, no way to continue his trip to see his daughter, to buy gas, to eat, to get a hotel, or even to return home to Texas. And he pled with the DEA agent. You see it on the body cam. And the agent didn't let that bother him. He eventually, Stephen, had his brother wire him $1,000 to get the money back.
Are you sure Stephen wasn't going to like a strip club or something? And maybe the DEA agent was like, look, let me hold on to this for you.
I'm sure.
All right.
So,
now
Marine Corps. Is what I would really love for him to understand, why agencies can do it. And what I was getting at, it's called federal adoptions.
Sounds
you ever
romantic.
heard of that before?
Nope, I can't say I have.
And I never had before, and I've been researching this for a long time because it's bothered me so much. And I didn't know, is he on the phone? You think he'd be back quick?
He's probably hurt. He knows everything about asset forfeiture.
Okay, so
He's fetishizes about it. He wishes he had $100,000 to put in his car, drive down the road, get stopped by a cop, and have it seized.
So Jared, DEA comes, takes it, gives him a receipt, says, call this number, leaves him with nothing on the side of the road. So why can agencies do that? It's called federal adoptions. Have you heard that before? Money
yes,
seized.
But not that phrase.
Yeah. So money seized is split with the agencies involved in taking it. In this case, the DEA got $87,000 from the Marine. Mm-hmm. Nevada HP got $19,000.
Mallory is here, folks.
And here is the process of how the split is done. I am almost done.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. I'm going to bring her in.
Here's the process. Traffic stop is made by local law enforcement agency. Large amount of cash is found. Regardless if charges are filed or not, the DEA or other federal organization will arrive on scene and adopt the seizure of cash. The feds will give the local agency a small finder's fee.
Privateering.
20%.
Yes. And they keep the rest. In 2019, $334 million in equitable sharing payments is what it's called, were made to the state and local agencies in Nevada. Imagine how much more of that went to the Fed. It's in the billions.
I don't know why they care. I mean, it's like they can just print money.
Sometimes they want to get some of that shit they printed back.
Guys, let's be honest. We have law enforcement agencies I just talked about. We need the money. We need new equipment. We need to hire more officers.
There was
chief of police benefits police departments.
There was a chief of police down around Houston in 2016 said we would lose our nacho bar. I shit you not.
I know you said this last week. So listen,
Mallory, are you
why
there?
I'm saying that I'm almost done.
Okay.
Why I'm saying this is, yes, law enforcement absolutely needs this money. These local agencies need the money, but when this person has done no crime and has not been able to see a judge, I think law enforcement agencies should be like, oh, well, then here's your money back. Even though, yes, of course they need it, which I think was the design when the law was done for the war on drugs. Now, here's how it ended up happening in Stephen's case. He filed a lawsuit against the DEA for the return of his $87K. He was in court for over 6 months at his own expense. He finally reached out to a group that assists people in this situation. It's called the Institute for Justice. They take over and fight on his behalf. It took the pressure from him, and they put the pressure on the DEA. And then the Washington Post got wind of the story, and they started calling the DEA for a statement. And only then did they return the $87K to Mr. Lara.
So if you call the Washington Post straight off, you'll save yourself so much time.
Hopefully.
You've got to say you're
a Marine and you don't know what color crayon is your favorite.
Don't you dare say you're a Marine when you call the Washington
Shortly
Post.
after he won that case, they filed another case against the state of Nevada, and it was much quicker that he got his $9K back from them. And the case isn't unique. Other than the time frame it took this man to fight for his money, most of these cases go on for years.
Or never get solved.
Or you just use Bitcoin and not have to worry about it.
Because what you have to do, now you are correct on that, but what you have to do is you have to go, and what it does is they press charges against the cash. And then you've got a loophole in to defend the cash that the cash
Judges
is
all over this country are starting to revert back. And here's the thing, in my not so humble opinion. I think these people should not only be paid back when no charges have been filed, they should also be given compensation for their lawyer fees and any interest that may have accrued on their money while it was in the government.
No. I don't think so, because it's the responsibility of the lawmaker to make these laws, not me, the taxpayer. I don't make these stupid laws. If you're a Merrill Nelson or whatever,
okay, so no
whoever
interest.
making these laws, let them pay for it. It's their law. They have to take the liability for their laws.
But our job as citizens need to take some liability for changing these laws.
No, I don't want
liability. We
liability.
have to change these laws.
Biden
And to do that,
2024, folks.
we need to make sure our legislators are making bills for these laws, which I'm going to do. You're going to help me as a delegate, and we're going to change these laws.
And Jared's going to as an adversary. Mallory, how are you tonight?
Hey, I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good. Can you turn on your camera so we can pull you onto the podcast?
We have a little square for you.
Hi,
Okay,
Mallory.
we have Mallory here. Now, Mallory comes to us. She is running the Shield Maiden, and I've got to
Shieldmaidentactical.
Shield Maiden Tactical.
Cool name.
Yes, that
Oh,
is.
thank you.
Dude,
I
feel
was
like-
a big fan of Lagatha on Vikings, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like Vikings or something,
Yeah.
right?
why
Mhm.
is this?
Huh?
All right, this is giving us a hard time
Should
linking
you
up.
be doing this?
Probably not.
No,
Let's be
he's got the
honest.
IQ of 46, not
You
me.
have to forgive us,
46.
Mallory.
Man, you guys keep.
My co-host
pretty
here
good.
is enjoying this crown more than
Hey,
it is
I-
called happy hour. So
the Twilla Happy Hour. Anyways, Mallory, so tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm about to turn 38 years old, and I'm just a regular domesticated house cat now and work a regular job and have a great husband and a awesome son.
What's your
Dog.
regular job?
I build flight simulators for an aerospace company.
Really?
see, that's
Pretty
so
unregular.
cool, right? I said that today. I'm like, oh, that sounds boring. She's like, yeah, it's just screws and stuff. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're a
I'm
rocket
the
scientist.
shrimp that cleans the tank.
Where do you build these at?
Up in Research Park at a company called Collins Aerospace.
Are you
And,
in Utah or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good gig.
Good.
So Mallory, I was telling him about your mentor. Did you watch prior before he started? He wanted to get on the phone
She's
with
at-
you
she's
before
at
he even
work tonight.
started.
Oh, dude, I was hardcore. Anybody who comes to me with gun stuff, I get excited because I'm a 12. I've never shot a gun, nor do I own any guns, ATF, but I am excited about them. So, what is your history in the gun world?
I, just normal kid, normal Utah kid, went out shooting with dad and when I was a kid, and then took my first class when I was 12 with Chuck Henson. He still teaches concealed carry classes, and he's a very, very good teacher.
Mallory, can you repeat the age when you took that course?
I was 12.
12.
Yeah.
12. Okay.
When her and I discussed
good.
this today,
Appropriate age.
she
Mhm.
said that it will depend on the child's maturity and ability to follow commands and be safe and all of that.
Yeah, some 2-year-olds aren't ready for this stuff.
But no, I asked
Probably
her because I have a 12-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter, but my daughter's more mature, maybe on being more safe. My son may be a better shot. I don't know. But again, like I want to get my kids on her course as soon as possible, but they probably should be a little older.
Yeah, and it should be taught in elementary school. Go on, Mallory. So,
Well, my son was 13 when he first took this 2-day course, and I did not. I stayed away from him and let my other instructors teach him because mommy can't teach her son on the range.
that's very appropriate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
So,
I love it.
It just depends. It depends on each individual kid. And I watched him, and he rose to the occasion. And too often, we make assumptions about these kids, but these kids are sponges, and they are hungry for responsibility, and they will rise to the occasion when called upon. So, but you just got to kind of keep an eye on them and kind of check their whether they'll rise to that high maturity and demonstrate that to actually be capable of taking a course like this. And he did. So.
And Mallory, you mentioned something today, and we are both in the same mindset that we want to raise our little girls to not feel like they're going to be victims, or we want to raise our girls to have the confidence to know that it's a level playing field when they are armed and they are educated and confident that it changes the game. It changes it for our girls and our boys. But I mean, I think we're on that same plan that, you know, if more young ladies did this, especially college age ladies, maybe who didn't have a dad teaching them at home, but you know, if they have that confidence and they know how to use a weapon, how to clean a weapon, how to store and conceal, man, is that a game changer. And us moms and dads with little girls, I mean, I remember college, and I remember being afraid more than one time in my life, and she said it perfectly. Your body is paying attention far more than your mind, and your instincts are usually right, and we have to tap into that. And she was so dead on. I mean, Fred recommended her because he's like, you and her are gonna, you two are gonna understand each other, and he's absolutely right.
Mallory, do you approach like public schools and say, hey, look, I want to teach people?
No, I don't do that. Public schools?
Would they let her?
I don't know, but I'm just fantasizing, I guess, maybe.
I did. Actually, I know that the school that my son was going to for about a year and a half, he was going to a private Christian school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and
private.
we did have the principal of that school in one of John Farnham's classes. He didn't take the full 2-day course because it was the second day was on Sunday. But he was a really nice guy, and I offered my services to the rest of the teachers, and they didn't take me up on it. So
after school program would be awesome. I mean, where the parents could opt in, pay a fee, their child goes after school, and even going after like homeschool families who are looking for, I mean, who knows? You could be raising.
they don't want that liability.
Got you.
And it would carry that liability. But there are several things from our course, several concepts and lessons that we teach that don't require the use of a firearm at all. So we teach you how to disengage and separate from someone, how to deal with somebody approaching you, what your tape loop is. So you have a series of tape loops that we train you to exercise and do, and you have to actually do them, or you won't do them when it matters. And one of the most difficult things it is for young people to learn is to have command of presence. You know, I was that kid that would keep my eyes down in the hallway and not look people in the eye. And I exhibited several pieces of prey behavior in my youth. And I suppose that that's maybe why I was selected for victimization. So you have to teach them young how to not demonstrate any of that prey behavior. And so that's a big portion of what we teach, and that's incorporated in the entire class. You'll be in drawing from interview stance.
I love it. And it's a natural reaction. After you do it enough times, it becomes natural.
Yeah. And I've never had to get to my second tape loop. My first tape loop is very clear. And even though I haven't shown my ace and I just, do my interview stance, they know what it is when I reach for my hip, and their hands fly right up. And then they scurry back to where they came from, and I don't have any issues. But initially, when they take a look at me, I'm a small woman, and they're not exactly paying attention because they're high up on something, but they hear that first tape loop and see my body positioning, and they figure out very quickly that I'm not the one for victimization. They choose a victim who looks like they're not going to fight back. So it's, a big part of deterrence is looking like somebody who's going to fight. So
not looking like a victim.
Well, and perpetrators don't want to take on fighters.
No, they don't.
They want an easy.
They are cowards.
Target.
Now, if you ladies you can try to turn yourself into a 45-year-old fat man, but
that's not even a joke anymore. That can really happen.
And the taxpayer has to pay for it.
Right.
No, I'm a 45-year-old fat man, or 46. 46 or somewhere. But, I'm not
Let's talk about her mentor
victim
and friend,
Yes.
That I want you to talk about, which is John Farnham. Because
tell us about John Farnham. John S.
Well, I just want to do him justice. Well, he was a Marine in the fighting in Vietnam, and he came back from there and decided to be a police officer. And he trained with Jeff Cooper and Clint Smith and Ayub, and so he knows all the legends of where this art came from.
So not the best quote maker on earth, Clint Smith, huh? Where he talks about how shotgun will.
I want to meet him very much, but
literally throw pieces of meat onto the floor. Yeah, I like Clint Smith.
Oh, I love Clint. His sermons are excellent. But Farnham is, and I hold all the instructors that I meet after I've met Farnham to his standard. And so I look for, 3 qualities in a teacher, and that's honesty, gratitude, and humility. And if they don't have all 3 of those, that's a problem. Why are you doing this? If that matters. Are you here for yourself, or are you here for your students? And John is probably too humble, but the wealth of knowledge that is in that man's head just astounds me. And I hunger for everything that he writes. He puts out a regular email or quip. He was recently banned off Facebook. This is very
apparently he tells the truth like you do, and he got banned off. They got banned off of YouTube, but Facebook still puts up with him. So
just for a week, we get 1 week penalty.
So he's very philosophical because like he says, he's like without the philosophical overlay, none of this makes sense. What we teach in this art.
Well, what are we fighting for?
He gives a very thorough history, and for me to learn the history of where this art comes from was very humbling. It's to actually understand that everything that we know and take for granted about this art was paid for in blood. And it's when we fail to pass it on, then generations of good men and women will have to die all over again to relearn what we already knew.
Yeah,
so it's very important to, he really, he shook my soul.
And you're referring
to my heart.
You're referring to tyranny. You're referring to protecting not only ourselves, but this nation. Yeah.
Well, but everything, every lesson and every, the way that we do things was, okay, we don't do it like that anymore because that's how Johnny got killed. And, 300,000 Johnnies got killed over there doing that. So, there was a lot of blood paid for, because we go and fight a war and we learn a lot from fighting that war. And a lot of good men died. And then we'd come back from the war and we'd fail to pass on what we learned there. And so by the time the next war rolled around, generations of young men and women would have to die all over again to relearn what we already knew and failed to pass on. And him teaching me that was huge. It made me feel an absolute urgency and a heavy responsibility to share this knowledge and this art of defensive handgunning, rifle, to make sure I pass it on. So
very good. Very good. So we did have a comment that asked, at 12 years old, what was the weapon you learned with?
Well, it was God's gun, of course, the 1911.
On a 12-year-old with that little tiny hand, was it a 45?
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah, you got to stretch around, fingertip on the front tine.
It's a heavy gun, so it doesn't. Bigger guns are far easier to learn on than those little teeny.
That is the fact.
Tight
but Mallory, what you said about that, and you told it to me, because here I am a mini Glock, and I'm like, I want a small gun, and she's like, I was 12 years old and I'm shooting this big gun. It's about your mindset. It's about your confidence.
Okay, the hard part with the 1911 is that you are going to wear a painted on dress. Where are you going to put it?
Okay, listen to him.
Am I kidding? If I was to point out,
I was thinking the same thing. I didn't want to say it.
If I was going to point out, I would say you go down. I would say Kimber, but Kimber's.
I've already explained to her I cannot carry a 911 in my outfit.
So I've explained
so I just
before.
carry an AK.
I have heard that Kimber's value has fallen, but Kimber has a Micro Raptor 9mm.
Who's Kimber?
I don't like her anymore. So how are you tonight, Mallory?
Kimber is a bougie maker.
Kimber used to be
very bougie.
Okay.
Used to be bougie.
Hey,
Kimber's quality has fallen to crap. But look up when you go.
I just don't even bother with those.
They have Kimber's quality has gone awry for a minute because they became bougie.
Wow.
But Kimber has a Micro Raptor, 9mm. I would go 9mm. Has penetration. Has everything you need. She's turning on her video. We're going to hear some overlap.
Sorry.
But I would go for a Kimber Micro Raptor. Do not go for the Bursa like CCR or CCP.
All right, look, calm down. You're not teaching this class. Mallory's going to teach me
that's correct.
this
Mallory.
Class, and she still has openings for this class. And
Springfield Hellcat.
She is actually
Springfield Hellcat
charging.
Fine piece of
good one.
equipment.
I don't want her
What's wrong
to
with a
know
Mac
this.
11 strapped across your?
Yeah, that's a good one. Or a Mac 10's.
It's kind of fashionable.
Behind it under the
So
purse.
what she's not telling. Sorry.
When you're out on these campaigns, is your husband next to you at all, or is there any of your friends that are helping you with campaigns? Are they
We'll
right
be
next
there
to you the whole time?
These gentlemen have come some, but my husband will join me at certain events, but most of the time I have my leadership team and I run around with chicken with my head cut off. But I have these guys.
Oh yeah, if someone tries getting a shot at her, they need to aim 10 feet ahead. Because
I'm just saying that your husband can be an extension of your purse. So when I have to wear a tight, stupid dress for some occasions, I put my gun on my husband. He's there for me.
Oh, got you. Yeah.
And you can just draw your gun right off of him and he can draw his.
You are an amazing wife. I know mine is like, look, you're going to put your assault rifle and your body armor downstairs in the basement. You can have your freaking pistol at the side of your bed. So I have to literally take my pistol and attack my way down to the basement to arm myself with my body armor and my assault rifle so I can go back upstairs and take out the bad guys.
Ask me where my wife makes me keep mine.
I don't even dare.
So
no, 1 second though. At my campaign events, as of late, Fred Swain is at my events.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just going to count on him to carry. Do you hear me, Fred? You better be carrying.
Well,
I carry a gun of her choice, an extra gun on your hip of her choice.
Would you be okay if we came down to one of your events and I don't know, hung out for a few hours one day?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Maybe recorded it, maybe threw some advertisement out, maybe sent. I'm a firm believer that ladies need to defend themselves, but
So do men.
well, sure, men, but men don't propagate the species. They can die off. It's just more for me. But anyways, I think we need to keep ladies safe and alive.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Crown Royal Vanilla flavor.
Yeah.
After a few of these, you'll be saying anything.
We'll be on to Apple next.
Vanilla.
Yeah, Mallory, when you do the show, just have him just go slower. Slower.
I see you keep, you're like, no, this is what we're going to talk about.
He loves, I told you though, they love guns. These are my gun guys. They love them. And I mean, I knew you'd get excited when I told you I had a surprise. And I just had my notes and I didn't even read them yet. And he started calling you or texting you or whatever. So that's how excited Jared was.
No, I think it's fantastic.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I would like to sign my moron nieces up for it.
Do they watch this?
Maybe. I doubt it.
My wife used to watch me, but she doesn't anymore.
She used to, but
Has she been trained?
No, she ditched Facebook.
Not really. No.
Dude, when we had that commie girl on, Dave did not have a pleasant night.
They actually had a communist on here, and I was just
wonderful.
not
Good.
having it. I was so angry.
Hey, you know what communists do though?
I love talking to communists.
Communists love the Second Amendment.
Oh, well, yeah.
True
they can't have it in their
love
own
guns.
country.
They love guns. How
in
else?
the hands of communists.
No, they don't like the Second Amendment. They love guns for them, but not for these.
No.
Oh,
True communists.
themselves.
Now you're thinking of those pinko fucking socialists. True communists love guns.
No.
The communists here.
there was one girl here. She
I
wasn't
know
ugly.
too.
She was very pretty, and so I think that's all he heard.
He's
her
never
say.
been. He's never been deployed to the Eastern Front.
I guess we have to establish our definitions of what you believe a communist is.
Yeah.
My belief in a communist is someone who wants to follow the faulty Marxist manifesto.
Anyone who doesn't use Bitcoin.
Maybe line up to the planks as they occur. I don't like to attribute Democrats with communists because I think that's doing okay, although they match. See, I'm an anarchist. I'm an anarcho-capitalist. I think the Republicans match almost as many planks as the Democrats do. And when the Republicans show me that they're actually free market capitalists with a mind for maybe closer to laissez-faire capitalism, then I'll believe them. So that I don't like to call Democrats communists because then what do I call Republicans?
I'm gonna
Democrats.
punch you in your
talking about the
face.
politicians,
okay, yeah.
like most of
You won't feel it after so many crowns.
You ain't gonna hurt me.
She's talking.
the majority of my friends are Democrats,
Good.
and but the only reason they're Democrats is they don't pay
Know any
attention to anything other than CNN. So it's not that they just don't know what the heck is going on. And when I did convert a friend of mine, but she just didn't know what she didn't know. But once she woke up and discovered what she didn't know, she was very, very angry. And now she's a very, very angry Republican. And she
That could
wasn't
go
as nice
another
as
way.
I was to her. So I had to talk her down and tell her she's got to be
Can I
nice.
say one thing? This communist that came on that I pointed out all of the stuff for, I want you guys, if you want to see craziness in action, go look at her Facebook page because she's the most ardent Trump supporter out there.
Oh, don't tell me
Yeah,
that.
She is
that doesn't make sense.
crazy.
That's nuts.
That doesn't make sense at all.
Zero.
Well,
But then again, the Republican that pushed
Deplorable.
ranked choice voting had one person, one vote on his Facebook page. Yet he pushed ranked choice voting.
Oh, I could go down the list on what the
We're not,
Republicans
because
have done.
I still have to go down the list of.
But anyways,
What your Facebook says doesn't mean anything to me.
no, she is hardcore Trump. Like I've watched her get into
Then
arguments.
you can't be communist.
She's not a communist because Trump believes that you should be an individual.
Trump-
Communists believe in collectivism.
Trump is a Democrat,
That's right.
whether you want to believe it or not.
Tell me,
He is. He's very
tell me
similar
where
to
the
JFK.
Republicans have fought for individualism.
It's actually in our.
Should I sit and
platform.
wait? Oh, okay. So they
In
wrote it
our
down on a piece of
It
paper
is
and
in our
then
platform.
fought for something
We
different.
believe in individual liberties. We believe you have the capability
Bump
of
stock band.
deciding for yourself.
Red
That
flag law.
Oh shit!
That was
Run
from
that.
Hey,
Republicans
let's unlock the
like-
Come from the
iPhone.
back 40, up over the
Republicans
top.
like Holly are fighting to bring back the Republican Party from the darkness.
What's that one-eyed
Thank you,
bastard
Mallory.
from the fucking Navy SEALs? How's he doing on this old
Crenshaw.
individualism?
We're talking about
Now,
please.
let's join me in my Dave Smith anarcho-capitalism.
I don't even think that's a thing.
But anyways,
It's a
no.
thing.
I want to talk about the gun rolls. When you now you do the shoot at the Get Some out here in Tooele, or where do you do the shoot?
No,
At? Where do you do it at?
no. We use the Grantsville Police Range. They've been very kind
Fantastic.
in letting us use that, and that's
I
why
love
I'm
that
able to
range.
keep my tuition low. Yeah, I don't have to pay for that range. They and that's why I don't have to charge a high tuition. So we're very grateful.
I'm
to them.
very grateful.
I want you to charge a higher tuition because, look,
No, I want
you're not
you.
20 hours per student.
No. Hold
Maximum
on,
what?
Stop,
How many
stop.
students?
I want her.
Max is 16.
I want no. I want her to charge a tuition. I do not want Grantsville City, who has already raped the people, to charge anything. I want Grantsville City at the moment any person from Grantsville calls and says, I want to use the range, to unlock that padlock and let them in.
Well, they got to pay for that range somehow.
I don't give a shit. I want Grantsville City. That range has already been paid for. I want Grantsville City to open that range up.
Security and all
Capitalism, Jared. Okay. Capitalism.
Sure.
I'm going to defend them a little bit here.
Yeah.
Grantsville, where that range is located, you want to have a competent person there.
Exactly.
There are
they're going to have
neighborhoods around there.
They're going to have to move that range in 2 years because they're building
they'd have to keep someone there full time for regular citizens to come in and out.
Yeah.
No, they're going to have to move it or turn it around because the way they shoot is going right to the new houses. I've been to the Grantsville. I'm from Grantsville.
New house. Here's the key word: new houses. They knew the range was there. It's their liability.
What I want you to do is, I think we should get together. Me as a shovel operator, dude. Did I tell you IQ of 43? I can operate a shovel a mother flower.
Dogs have IQs of 43.
Yeah.
IQ of 42.
My German Shepherd.
You come on out. We build a berm. You open up a lightning ranch, whatever you want to call it.
I think we can legally have 20% depleted uranium rounds too, as citizens. Just saying, we could do something good with this.
20%. Explain to me how 20% depleted uranium rounds. What does that mean? Every fifth round is depleted uranium.
However we do it, just 20%.
So while you're cleaning that AR at home, you're just getting that fourth arm for the kid that night, you know.
Mallory, are you at work and we're disturbing you with this? No, this off the rail.
Off and I'll hop back on when I'm done with you guys. I was about ready to go home anyway. So.
Oh, good. Anyways, no, I say we start up. That has been a dream of mine. If I had my perfect job, it wouldn't be this handyman shit.
I was telling Mallory today that I before COVID at UMC, we have this huge warehouse, and I talked to my bosses about actually developing a training facility, police academy type, where we have a home built inside as well as outside ranges where we actually do training for police, all the police departments in the county, because they all have to go to Salt Lake.
Right now, Ogden's the shit. If we pull it away from them.
Rude. And then we offer it up to private trainers like Mallory to host her events at the venue. And then we open it up to any citizen to come in and do airsoft, like play for fun and do all of that. Now,
helicopter.
This is not a pornography channel. You need to change the subject.
We can use those medical helicopters and we can sit on them and...
My bosses loved the idea and they were so excited. But when COVID hit, that killed us on that season. And it's still something we're trying to get back to. I'd love to tell you what I'm doing at my racetrack as soon as you get off
That is coming up next.
Yeah, when our 8-hour show is over. Or...
Have you guys...
I have a Call of Duty
we only have
team waiting for
one bottle of rum left.
You play Call of Duty?
I play Call of Duty. I have my own team.
I like it. Dude...
Are you familiar with how PMAA that range was run? That was up Parley's Canyon. Did you ever go to that range? That was a police range that the citizens could go use, and some politician shut it down.
Dude, we could open up a badass range out here. They had planned for one on Twilla Army Depot, but I mean, imagine if you had Tuesdays. Imagine this. You had a range that cost $3 to enter. And then you had certain instructors, instructors with designated marksman experience or things like that. I mean, pistol combatives is like base level stuff, but imagine if you had some of those guys with that upper level shit, how to do field craft, where they could come out and you'd pay $3 to get on the range. And then drop them $3.
Well, there are several very competent, very good instructors in this valley.
Dude.
We are very fortunate to have.
You ain't kidding.
There's several good instructors out here, and there are some that fly in. Like we sponsor John Farnham to fly in, but Todd Nielsen is just made that facility BPMF. But that's down in Springville.
But Mallory, you come all the way out to Twilla County because you said today, the citizens of our county are like the ones just hungry for the education. We're well armed. We're great people to teach. I mean, you're in Midvale, right? And yet,
I'm surrounded to teach by out
here.
I'm surrounded by commies.
I'm gonna get her to run for office.
I live among them.
Fuck yeah.
I want her to run for office, and she's like, "Oh, I can't do that." And I said, "Oh yeah, well, I can't shoot a big gun."
I'll tell you one thing. I will.
And see, she's like, "Oh,
I will be on a campaign for a hardcore shooter's office run. I'll come out and I don't know. You don't want me. You don't want me on your campaign. Let me just say this out.
Of course she doesn't. Look how you're yelling at her.
You don't want me on your campaign. See, I'm talking quieter now. See, I am corruptible.
Doesn't hit the red yet.
I am.
We're doing okay.
I am for sale. What else do I do? I have a feet YouTubes, or no, what is it called?
I thought he had the feet YouTube.
Oh, Dave has a feet. What is it called again?
I have a turtle fetish.
It was the Callus Palace.
Oh, me too.
Palace. But I like to watch. I've never shot a gun myself, nor do I own any guns, Mr. ATF. But I do enjoy watching people shoot firearms, and I enjoy the art of it. It's like watching the professional pool players on ESPN 8. The Ocho.
In my parenting class, they say, if your dad doesn't have a rocket launcher, you have two moms.
Oh, in Biden's speech, he said that you don't have an F-15, so why do you think you could take on your government?
Yes.
F-15s are expensive. F-16s more affordable.
Either way.
That's the Taliban. But I really want to come to your range. And I don't need to get involved, but I'd like to come out there and.
Well, will you shoot some footage for her
that's kind of what I'd like to do.
Populace?
I'd like to shoot.
Mallory, would you care as long as he's sober? Of course.
I won't be sober, but I would like to shoot an advertisement.
You be sober.
You have to be sober.
I'm not shooting. I'm shooting an advertisement. No. I'm gonna wear a scarf.
Yep,
I almost said that correctly.
He's gonna wear a scarf.
And it's going to be folded over, you know, how they do in LA.
He'll probably be in a muumuu.
It'll be gray. Muumuu.
Yeah. This isn't that what a scarf is?
I'm not judging. We all have our own versions of drinking, gambling, and whoring, you know.
Yeah, but not during work where we want him to make the world understand how important what you're doing is.
As long as it's half calf White Sox. Muumuu's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to come out. And I have my main 6 instructors, and then I have one and hopefully 2 more understudies to learn how to train. So we have a pretty large size group of instructors and some coming up.
Do you want him to come on next weekend?
Yeah.
I'll have Holly pick me up because I'll be DUI if she doesn't.
No, I'm not picking
anyways,
him up.
No, I
Uber.
I would love to come. I'd love to come and see what you're doing. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what. I know it's a lady course. Is it okay if I come sober?
No, it's not a lady course. It's for men too.
Oh, I can come as a dude?
Yes.
I can be a shield maiden?
He can, right?
Yeah.
It's for men and women. It's training
cops. For men. Oh. It's for men and women.
I'll braid my sweet ass hair.
3 times. It's not just for women. I just mean that as an instructor, this is
What part of Drunk Jared do you think listens to females?
He'd make a good shield maiden.
You have a wife?
I've had 2 in my past.
Had.
It turned out well for me. Anyway,
Mallory, love you. I'm sorry.
But no, I would love to. How much does this course cost? Let's
$200.
$200, and that's a third. That's a third of what courses like this.
For 20 hours.
To advertise her course. I've heard of guys going to the Long Shot Ranch for $2,000 for 3 days. I've heard. I haven't been there.
Well, this is
I don't know about that range, but I know Gunsight is excellent, worth the money.
$200 is not much.
John Farnham is $750, and he's worth every penny.
$10 an hour.
Every penny.
You get 20 hours.
How much
by
is
a
your life
barista
worth,
for that?
You know,
it's $10 an hour, Mallory.
Hold on.
Change your price after this next weekend.
No, she's on point. I was saying that I've heard Longshot Ranch, their designated marksman course, was $2,000 for 3 days. I've heard that.
Teaching beginners.
Hold on, I want you guys to listen to me for a second. She was explaining at $10 an hour, you go there and you learn some professional handgun proficiency.
I was explaining,
and I love it. Now,
I said $10 an hour, and she's like, "I know."
It's quick math.
This is a blonde lady correcting me on my own. Anyways, but no, I respect what you're doing. I do think that the value of what you're doing could easily be charged more, but you're doing a service. I want to explain that.
Yeah, we certainly don't do this for the money, and I'm not, there's other instructors who charge more, but I mean, it's not that much. I mean, I look at their tuitions, I'm like, damn, that's really good. That's not very expensive at all, because like you say, some of these classes, they run $2-3 grand, and but I can't put a price on it. I mean, I've paid a lot of money to take John's classes, and I worked side jobs and did all kinds of stuff to make sure I could be there. And you can't put a price on what John has given me. So I'm not knocking instructors for that charge
well, you can't put
a large amount of money for what they do. See, the reason why I do what I do, because I was taking people out. It took me taking people out and giving them lessons in order to get them to walk into a class with these giants. And so I have found that I am far more successful in getting new students to level classes if they take my class first. It's a door opener for them.
And like you said,
so that's why I charge a low tuition.
You can't put a price on.
Because they don't know what they don't know.
You can't put a price on your life, but it's more than that. You can hold your head up high when you're walking around, and you can't put a price on that. And that's something that you can teach children. You can't teach self-esteem to anybody. They have to earn it, and it's usually by setting goals and accomplishing and doing hard things. But when a young lady or a young man feels like he can protect himself when his family or her family, that is a confidence that is you can't be taught. They have to feel it in their soul, and you cannot put a price on that.
Yeah, we're teaching people how to discover their own magnificence, because people are really hard on themselves, and the world is a rough place. And I can tell you that my son has changed. The difference between my son and before the class and after the class was that he's a totally different kid, very, very confident, and just very respectful, and he's just a great kid. That class really changed him in a great way. And so these kids, these young men, and these young women, they are hungry for responsibility, and when you give them the opportunity to large responsibility, it makes them feel good.
Yeah.
So.
How many seats are open now? How many spots? Jared,
4.
Are you serious about going?
I'm going. Yeah.
You got a Venmo her. I'll give you a Venmo.
I'll Venmo her. I'll Venmo my www.jared.
I don't know what's going to happen when I turn it off.
Okay. Well, then you probably got 3 seats open. So people are watching. That class is on Saturday. It starts at 9 a.m., but you've got to contact Mallory. And will you put this in the comments?
Yes, I'll put it in the comments, but it's, we'll just do the website, but it's shield like the thing you hang onto your left arm, your reaction arm, maidentactical at AOL.com. Now, don't laugh at her. Don't laugh at her because I'm still using a Hotmail. And if you sons of bitches are laughing.
That's badass. Well done, sir.
Oh, I know. I've had it since I was.
No one's laughing at her, sweetie heart.
I was a young private.
They're laughing at
since
you.
Christ was a private. But anyways, no. But let's fill this class up. I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna set up my phone to do some recording. I don't want to record too much because I don't want to put her stuff out there for free.
Well, you also are a member of this class, and she expects you to act like one.
Yes, I do want to, range rules. I'm big about range rules, That's kind of a big thing.
No crayon vanilla.
No.
Exclusive class.
Oh.
Yeah, but I really would love to come. And this is in 2 weeks, right?
No, it's next Saturday.
This upcoming Saturday or the one after?
Yeah, it's September 17th and 18th.
September.
And this will be my last class of the year. But West is, for Defense Sense, is hosting the class in November, and it's the exact same curriculum. But the difference is that he's leading the class and doing more of the lecture material.
I don't see West on my show, so I don't care about West right now.
Well, but
I care about Mallory, who's on my show.
She respects West very much. And
I respect
Mallory. If you get us a commercial, we'll play it for you. Put it that way,
dude. That is sweet. Let's try to make a commercial out of this show.
Yeah, I'm not. See, I'm not a advertiser, tech, person. But West, he's much better at that stuff than I am.
Mallory, did I tell you that I have an IQ of 32, and here I am operating a show
that was 43.
I know. It's dropping.
Was it 43?
No, it's called blood alcohol level. It makes you very, very stupid.
I have an IQ level of BAC 0.
We have West's number, and I'll make sure that he gets in touch.
But no, I love that you're putting this course on. It's fantastic. It's the same as, I think, like when the MMA gyms open up to teach self-defense to women, to teach them how to pull on an air and kick the groin at the same time.
Or, no. MMA doesn't have shit on Patrick Odell.
MMA does not have shit on the cavitation of a 9mm fired at 3 feet of distance.
I'm just saying, like, Patrick Odell, his what he teaches is.
Yeah. Patrick Odell. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have to look that up. I do not know.
So this is good stuff. That's what she's saying.
Yeah, this is the best interview I've ever had with you guys. This is fun.
But you need to meet Patrick Odell. He's my open hand blade trainer, and he's unbelievable. And he's such a nice guy. And I listen to him teach, and he teaches all the same concepts that I learned from John Farnham. And I'm like, I just love him. So.
Me, as an IQ of 28, I always learned that if you do not have the willingness, the willingness to conflict extreme harm, none of it matters.
You don't pull a weapon unless you're ready to do that.
You have to have that conversation in advance. So these perps, these criminals, have already had this conversation in advance, why it's perfectly fine to take your life.
They have. Why
it's perfectly fine to hurt you.
They're the sociopath.
Have to have that conversation in advance. And you need, and some people, have been kicked so hard in their lives that for some reason or another, they have decided in their minds that they're not worth fighting for. But they'll be happy to fight for their children. Yeah. They'll be happy to fight for their families. But when it comes to fighting for themselves, they don't feel that. And what they don't understand is they don't know the devastating and tragedy it would be for them to not be here anymore.
Right.
They have no idea the far-reaching effects on their families and their loved ones.
They want to fight for.
Dying. Yeah. And so they need to understand that, each one of us, there's never been another you before, and there never will be again. You are a unique creation of God. And there are people in this life that only you can reach. Only you. And so with you not being here anymore, those people will never have you to give them that message that might have saved their life. So it is absolutely essential that you're here to reach the people that I can't reach, to reach the people that Holly can't reach. You have no idea how tragic it is. You can't see that far because, and this, what Jordan Peterson says is that you'll know 1,000 people in your life and they'll know 1,000 people. And that puts you one person away from 1,000,000 and two persons away from 1,000,000,000. And that's how we're all connected. So for you to die affects so many people.
It's a ripple
you have no
effect.
idea.
We just went through an accidental
that was beautiful.
Accidental pro-life show and an accidental, in the latest news, King of the Incels show. How did that happen? This is a show that makes shit happen.
Crown Royale, baby.
Well,
Mallory,
does anyone here know what I'm talking about?
That was
when
amazing
I say,
because you're absolutely right. And that ripple effect is so, and there are people that don't feel like they're worth fighting for. And they could just use that little bit of confidence that just makes them stand a little taller and know that they don't have to be victims no matter where they come from or what's happened to them in their lives. That tomorrow is a new day and it's a new way. And as an individual, their liberty is everything.
And in this class, you will learn how to properly repent. Okay, a lot of people don't know how to repent properly. So what happens is they do that really stupid thing and then they're sorry about it and they continue to beat the crap out of themselves for it. And what that results in is your performance goes down and you're incapable of doing the goals that you have in mind because you're too busy thinking about the past. And so in this class, if you do that, you'll be able to see in real time, oh shit, I made a mistake 10 minutes ago and you still think about it. And then your performance goes down. And finally, one of my instructors has to come over and say, are you still thinking about that stupid shit you did 10 minutes ago? And they say, yeah. It's like, okay, well, that's why you're failing. You got to let that go. Okay, you're sorry. You repented. Now you got to burn that dead wood and like a phoenix, rise from the ashes into a better, smarter version of your previous self and move forward because you can't do anything about the past. You can only do right here and right now. And so when they do that and they decide to let it go, then their performance goes back up.
It's amazing. And yet you can use that in any philosophy throughout your life. You can choose to wear the backpack of shame and the backpack of worries and victimhood and a hard childhood full of rocks and walk around with it and bad relationships and pain. Or one day you can say, you know what? I'm taking this backpack off because it's holding me back and I'm going to start tomorrow. I'm starting now free of this because I can't change this. I have tomorrow. I can't change the past. Fred thinks that you should end your visit with an uninterrupted poem.
Yes, without me. I'm going to sit back.
I don't think that's what he means. I think he knows that she can do a poem that is going to be great.
Fred Swain, I'm guessing.
Well, it's not Fred Rogers. He's gone. So.
Let's see.
Is that Mr. Rogers she just made a call out to?
Yeah.
Mr. Rogers?
Dude, it took me like 8 minutes.
I said not Fred Rogers, and he's the only one that got my joke.
28 IQ.
He's at an 18 IQ right now.
18.
And math is hard.
14 IQ.
Ask Fred Swain about Mr. Rogers.
Well, he just... I know nothing about Mr. Rogers other than you said...
Yeah, just ask Fred Swain. Ask
him.
Mallory said to ask you about Mr. Rogers.
He's on live right now.
So give us a poem, Mallory. Let us hear your philosophical entertainment.
Wax poetic.
I'm a big fan of the first poem I ever learned was in high school. I had a very good English teacher who actually taught us something that mattered. But this one is called Invictus, and it's by William Ernest Henley, who suffered immensely, and he wrote this during that suffering. He was bedridden.
Okay. Out of the night which covers me, black is the pit from pole to pole. I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In this fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade. And yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Is that good?
Outstanding.
Some deep shit, man.
Outstanding.
Oh my God.
It's a good one.
That
I
gave
like
me
it, yeah.
chills. Like, wow.
I like it. So, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
thought I could sing Hamilton all the way through, and that would be impressive.
Oh, Farnham can recite Shakespeare for 20 minutes straight.
Wow.
I can't do
We
that.
gotta go talking about status.
That is
Well,
amazing.
I guess I haven't tried to do that.
But no, so not this upcoming weekend, but the next. So that's
oh my
the
God, it's right there.
17th.
And 18.
Hey, he's got an
You
IQ.
just pointed at
of 31.
She just
Oh.
pointed at the where it is not right there, like it's right there. She did, and then had to flip the page
I had
over.
to flip it over because
You
you
saw it
turned
on
it
Zoom,
over.
right? You saw it on Zoom. All right.
I'm not sure what I saw.
See?
Yeah, that was her
Thanks.
pointing at the wrong page. That's
I'll be happy to answer any questions once my lawyer is present.
yeah. She's got an IQ of 95,
Me?
and
Oh, don't even play.
but anyways,
Bro, don't even play.
September's okay, 98. I apologize. Math is not my strong suit.
I don't even think
I
you
don't mind
own a
either.
suit.
So 17th and 18th.
Yeah.
It's in Grantsville at the Grantsville shooting range. So how you get to the Grantsville shooting range is you're going to drive down Main Street of Grantsville, turn left on West Street that is heading south. And after you pass the kind of water building, look off to the right. There's a road that goes to the right. There's a gate. It's what, an A-frame gate?
I believe it's Mormon Trail Road.
Yeah, it's Mormon Trail, but you're going to go out there. There's an A-frame gate. That's where the gate is. And it says, I don't know if it says police shooting range, but that's where it's at. It's a nice range. It's a built up range. It is going to have to change soon because of the allocation of new houses in the area. I think they're going to have to change the range from shooting south and east to shooting strictly west. They're going to have to extend that and have it only shooting west because they've got housing going into the north of them, to the east, and the southeast.
Thank you for that update on that. I really think we all learned something here.
Yeah, I took notes.
You remember that thing that I was going to go through with you later?
Yes,
It's
go through the
9:30.
thing with me later.
9:30.
Is it 9:30?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go on to the news.
Here,
Oh,
I'll let
news.
I'll let you
is
guys
the news.
get back to what you're finish your
Thank
show.
you.
But thank you so much for inviting me on.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you,
I love
Mallory.
this. And actually, we're going to do another restart on the show. But anyways,
Wonderful.
thank you, Mallory, and I will
Thank
see you
you.
in 2 Saturdays.
I'm excited to see you. And
Yes,
Yeah.
I
next
will
week.
show up sober. I promise.
We will.
That what a marvelous idea.
That's kind of a big deal.
Yes.
When you contact her, she'll give you your list and stuff, right? When they contact you, you'll send the list of
Yeah.
what they need to bring and be prepared for and all of that.
Yeah, I have a number. I can send him his kit list. So.
Awesome.
Perfect. All right. We'll see you in 2 Saturdays.
Thank you, Mallory.
There's me and Dave will be there.
No,
And maybe,
I'm going to be in Oklahoma.
oh, Dave's going to be in Oklahoma. He's going to be
Got to do my duty.
He's going to be in half-ass Texas. But I will be there.
You're going to do duty in Oklahoma?
Duty.
But yes,
have a wonderful. I'll talk to you guys later.
thank you very much.
Thank
and
you.
afterwards, we need to have you on the show, just yourself.
And
And this time I can next time I'll have a Crown Vanilla, right?
Yes, but we want you here in
maybe
person,
Crown Apple,
much
Crown
like
Apple.
Holly is, and
he only
I
has
want
this much left, but
I want you. Yeah.
For this is for you if you don't
Oh,
mind
and I've
apple.
got Utah vodka.
I'm a serious lightweight, so it'd have to be a very, very.
I'm drinking
small
water because
I've got water out of the square part of the toilet if you're a lightweight, but we can sort that out later.
I'm a very much a lightweight.
But anyways, no, we want you here in person. We want you to go over whatever you want to, to talk about your class and all that. I think it's
and about your future campaign in Midvale.
Oh yeah, Midvale.
No pressure.
Yeah, they really love me in Midvale.
Oh, they're
Republican
gonna love you.
Something or another.
I'm gonna help you.
I posted John Farnham's 6 rules, and one of my city council members lost his shit. He's like, "This needs to be taken off immediately," because he's a commie, Now.
Well, what happened is you directly shoveled sand right into his vagina, and it really hurts right now.
Oh. Yeah, they're not a big fan of me, so that's okay.
Yeah, but no, that's outstanding. I like
it's forever,
it,
Holly.
Oh my!
We've got to have you on the show after you're done with your class.
I should take my pen off.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Dave won't be here. Dave will be in Budget, Texas, and it'll just be you and me, and maybe Holly.
Budget.
All right.
Yeah.
Could you handle that?
Are you kidding?
Could I handle that?
Me?
Yeah. No, not you. Him.
I think I'm doing okay.
You just dropped the VJJ right on. My name is across that, along with my party, and you're
just you
talking about lady bits.
Hey, this is all shit I learned.
In sand.
And sand.
This is all shit I learned serving this goddamn country in the United States.
Hail to the Republic.
Get me with that.
Hoorah.
All right, you guys have fun.
Thank you very much. We'll talk
Thank
to you
you for
soon,
coming on,
Mallory.
Mallory.
Bye, Mallory.
We'll see you later.
Yeah, take care.
All right. So, everyone, that is Mallory. Mallory is running a shooting range out in Grantsville. That's an outstanding.
She's running
a school for renting the shooting
It's
range.
in Grantsville, but it's actually an incredible course that you can take.
Dude, I'm excited. I am dead excited to go to this course. It'll be me and our Republican county chair in there. And
I'm going to learn how to use my weapon confidently and conceal, and so many different options in a course: day, night, defense, what to watch for, just preparation. And it's for men and women, and there's still 3 seats left. It's a $200 class, but it is 20 hours.
Well worth it.
And it's in 2 days. Like, it's a 2-day Saturday, Sunday class. So it's a third of the cost of any course like this in the state. Oh. And you'll leave there with full confidence in exactly what it is you're looking for when you want to carry a firearm. And, for someone like me, it matters, the safety and the confidence that I know what I'm doing, shoot, don't shoot, tactics, all of that matters. So that's why I'm taking her course. And I think it'll be a great opportunity. So if you have the chance, it's her last course of the year. And if it doesn't work for you, then a fellow instructor that works with her his name is West Brandon from Defense Sense. He will be hosting a course also in November on the 11th and 12th, and that'll be the same type of course. So think about it, and Jared should be posting the information for getting in touch with Mallory, and she can get you in touch with West if November sounds better for you.
I think we should take a 2-minute break.
2-minute break. We're going to pause this. Dave has to go tinkle. I'm gonna go tinkle, I guess. I don't know.
And I'm gonna send apology letters to my voters and to my friends and family. And